Hello everyone, this is POW Ponder on Weather. In this update, we have a very active day across the plains with an enhanced risk for severe weather with all three modes of very large hail, damaging winds, and a tornado threat, and some of those could be strong tornadoes on the EF2 type variety. And then that same risk continues to shift off into portions of Illinois and Indiana with a slight risk for severe weather coming up on the day on Saturday. But it doesn't end there, because we have another disturbance that's going to be moving into West Texas on Sunday with yet another chance of a slight risk for severe weather. And that just continues to shift into Monday across North Texas into Oklahoma. So man, it's pretty active over the next several days. We got a lot to get to. Happy Friday, everyone. How's it going out there? If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button and notification bell to get all my daily updates to keep you ahead of the storm. So let's get right to it. Let's take a look at the overall radar setup this morning and take a look at the overall outlook of what's going on for the next 60 hours. And you can see we got some storms this morning into portions moving through in and around central Oklahoma here, through Des Moines here, as well as through portions of South Dakota. And we have yet another disturbance that's going to be moving in off the Pacific Northwest with more rain showers for them as we get into deeper into the day. As we kind of walk you through time, and you can follow the time frame on the top left hand corner of the screen there. As we walk you through time, we're starting to about 4 or 5 o'clock. We're just kind of zoom in into portions of Nebraska into Kansas. That's where we can start seeing these isolated supercell thunderstorms. We've got a very powerful low-level jet screaming at 75 knots. These lapse rates are very steep. We've got dew points in the mid-60s. We have a very active dry line, so we should be seeing supercell thunderstorms start to explode, and any of these that do form into discrete mode would be capable of 2-inch, even possibly up to 4-inch diameter hail potential today into portions of Nebraska, getting into Kansas, and that'll actually extend into portions into Oklahoma. But that supercells will continue to fire and elongate and form a squall line as we get deeper into the evening hours. About 9 o'clock time frame, we could be looking at a nasty squall line heading through Topeka here, heading towards Wichita, with those very large hail and damaging winds up to that 75-mile-per-hour potential. And as we walk you through time, that'll try to build in what they call back build into the overnight hours around 2 o'clock in the morning time frame through Tulsa, through the Oklahoma City area. But as it continues to push further to the south, I do feel it's going to run into a strong captive inversion where it's going to be limiting the storm activity into portions as it gets into portions along the Red River into North Texas with a very strong cap in place. But as we expand the view, you can see this powerful surface low really cranking up here into portions of Sioux Falls, getting into Bismarck here to the south of there. That's where all the instability is. That's the warm sector, that's the dry line, and that will set the stage for very powerful storms as we get into the afternoon, into the evening hours. And that will continue to shift into your Saturday morning through into portions. This is a cold front. Around this cold front, we could be having like little isolated showers move through the Dallas-Fort Worth area, whatever's left of that system, as it continues to shift and will stall out somewhere in central Texas into the afternoon hours on Saturday. But as we look further up to the north into portions of Indianapolis and to portions of Chicago, we're starting to see more activity starting to flare up as we get into the heat of the afternoon. That's why the Storm Prediction Center has that slight risk for severe weather going to be extending through Illinois, headed into Indianapolis area right around that 5-6 o'clock time frame. So this isn't as nearly as a potential of what we're going to be seeing today, but you still could be seeing some of that large hail on upwards to quarter size, possibly up to golf ball size hail potential in these areas, along with those damaging winds of around 65 miles an hour. And you do have an isolated tornado threat, cannot be ruled out in this area. But as we expand the view and continue to move and shift through the day into the overnight hours on Saturday, through the day on Sunday. There's the cold front. You can actually see where it's at. It's stalling out right along into central Texas. This is about 3 o'clock in the morning on Sunday, with some showers in along Shreveport, heading up through Memphis, all the way into Louisville, heading into Cincinnati here. This extends all the way up into Detroit, as we have that surface low kind of elongating by then. As it expands and as it elongates, it'll actually kind of lose some of its luster on the severe threat as we continue to walk through into your daytime hours on Sunday. So that only goes through about Sunday afternoon time frame. So now let's take it, kind of shift gears here and expand the view and head towards the infrared satellite picture. So this is the setup as we get into your Saturday morning with these comic Q shapes. There's the swirl going to be blowing up supercell thunderstorms in and around the Illinois area into Indiana. So you can actually see it a little bit better on this infrared satellite picture, with that cold front extending all the way through into Saturday night, going into portions of central Texas as we kind of walk you through time here. And this will just really, that, as you can see, the swirl up to the north just really kind of elongate, and as it expands, it definitely loses its punch. But this will continue to spread kind of light to moderate showers as it continues to move off to the southeast. But as we get into the daytime hours on Sunday, yes, we have another disturbance that's going to be moving through portions of West Texas into portions of central Texas here. That's why the Storm Prediction Center has highlighted that slight risk for severe weather. Could be looked that another active dry line is going to be beginning to take shape as we get into the heat of the afternoon. 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the afternoon, we should be seeing isolated discrete supercell thunderstorms starting to expand and explode out here in West Texas, and those could be some large hail producers as well. And that will continue to shift off into the east, going into that, say, 10 o'clock time frame. That should be over or near, say, North Texas by then, getting into central Texas with more severe weather coming in to start your May, for North Texas. And those could be some large hail producers as well, with some damaging winds, and that will continue to shift off. But man, we just have multiple disturbances, because yes, we have another disturbance that's going to be shifting out of the Rockies, heading through the Central Plains, going into your Monday afternoon. So yes, we have more severe weather potentially going to be on the table, heading into portions of North Texas, getting into Oklahoma, through Kansas again, through potentially Arkansas. By then, that will continue to shift off into getting into the Tennessee Valley, getting into the plains here. But it doesn't take long, because yet we have another system that's going to be developing. There's a little mini cold front that's going to be shifting off into the southeast. So these cold fronts this time of year, doesn't really have much movement to them. So they're only going to be able to sag only so far, and then they'll back up as a warm front. So that's what's happening here, is we have these mini short waves that's moving across. We have the cold front that's going to be stalling out into somewhere into central Texas. And then as it stalls, it's just going to lift back up as a warm front. And as it does that, that's going to create more instability in the atmosphere and more showers and thunderstorms. And those could be severe. And yes, we have multiple rounds of low-level surface lows, troughs that's going to be coming in off the west. Is going to be interacting with that boundary. And that is going to set the stage for more severe weather as we get into your Wednesday time frame. So I can stop the clock right here. Again, same setup. Wednesday, May the 4th. Yes, we have another potential for possibly more severe weather on the table into North Texas, getting into central Texas, central Oklahoma here, through Kansas again. So you can see the atmosphere going to be extremely unsettled for the next week to 10 days. I'm concerned about a lot of severe weather that's going to be on the table, and that just continues to expand into Thursday. We have more active setups as we continue all the way through into Friday, into next weekend. So let's take a look at the overall kind of surface map of the surface lows at the surface. So because there's going to be a pretty powerful low-level jet that's going to be coming across. It's going to be swinging through the plains, but it's also going to have some cold air aloft as well. And there's a 995 millibar low pressure into Saturday afternoon. And yeah, we could be bringing out more snow showers into parts of the Dakotas, getting into portions of Canada here. So as we walk through time, and you can actually see that surface low, yes, as it expands, it weakens. And then as it weakens, it loses the severe threat, but it still has the isolated showers and thunderstorms with that stalled frontal boundary moving through. There's the setup on Sunday, going into Monday with more instability. Yes, we have another powerful surface low that's going to be developing over portions of the Rockies here, and just to the northwest of there, it's going to be cold enough to snow. I mean, some of these temperature anomalies are going to be dropping down to 15 to 20 below average temperatures, and underneath that, we could be looking at some light to moderate snow and even some heavier snows at times breaking out of the northern Rockies here through Wyoming and headed into portions of Nebraska. I can't be rolling out some snow into your neck of the woods. So, you know, we won't be talking severe weather. We'll be talking snow by the time we go into Monday for portions of Nebraska. But that surface low will continue to deepen. And as it deepens during the day on Monday, it's going to be cranking that snow to the north. You can look at the tight isobars. That's really indicative of some of the stronger wind gusts they're going to be cranking in that area. So definitely be out on the lookout for that. But there's that heavier snow just to the northwest. So it's still going to be cold enough this time of year, even though, yes, the calendar does say May, it can still snow up here in this neck of the woods. And it's going to be coming in fast and furious with these rounds and rounds of troughs. It's going to be moving through. And most of our northern states are going to be experiencing below average temperatures, and all the warmer temperatures are going to be well to the south. But it's very active over the next several days as we just have numerous disturbances. There's going to be moving across. There's another setup kind of be moving through the day on Wednesday. That's in the morning hours. There's the surface low really starting to develop again. And as it does, it's going to bring more instability further down to the south with more severe weather that I highlighted on the infrared satellite picture. But then just more snow showers into portions of the Rockies that can't be rolled out over the next, really, as we get into the middle of next week to end next week. So overall, here's the overall snowfall map just over the next 7 days. So we know there's going to be a lot of severe weather on the table, but there's also going to be some snow as well. So it's a pretty good chunk of snow, light to moderate snow in the higher elevations of the Intermountain West. But check out Nebraska. I mean, that's some pretty good, 2 to 4 inch swath there. Could be even some isolated spots of maybe 6 to 8 inches, over the course of the next week ahead. And then of course the Dakotas into Nebraska will be adding to those totals as well. So hey, I appreciate you guys watching. I am going to be going live a little bit later on this afternoon, probably 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the afternoon time frame to do live coverage on that severe potential across the plains into the evening hours. So definitely stay tuned for that. I'll post the link below and put all the headlines out there to keep you ahead of the storm. So I'll be doing live coverage later on this afternoon. So definitely check back with that. So I appreciate you guys watching. Definitely hit the subscribe button if you hadn't already, and catch the next update where I protect you before and after the storm.